Assalamualaikum to our lecturer, Sir Abdul Hafiz. Today we from Group 5, Class 5C will be presenting a case study on Pasla Holding Sendirian Berhad, focusing on major successions and estate planning issues faced by the company. Let's begin with the background of the company. Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Izzah binti Rahim and I will be presenting the background of Pasla Holding Sendirian Berhad and the issues about the company. Pasla Holding was incorporated on 1976 in Seremban Negeri Sembilan. The company was founded by Datuk A.S. Dawud and operates mainly in plantation and estate property management. Over time, the company expanded into the commercial exploitations of estate lands and property holdings. Datuk Dawud had a complex family structure as he was a polygamous Muslim with 4 wives and 20 children. This family background later became significant in relation to inheritance and succession issues. Although Dawud made some arrangements during his lifetime, such as family agreements and share distributions, these were not clearly formalized under proper legal instruments. After his death, major legal dispute arose. The main issue was whether Datuk Dawud had successfully created a valid and enforceable trust for the shares and assets of Pasla Holdings, or whether the arrangement were merely imperfect gift. This disagreement, particularly involving a 1981 family agreement, led to prolonged legal conflict among the heirs. That's all for my presentations. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
My name is Nur Farisha. Before the problem occurred, Pasla Holding was fully controlled by Dato' A.S. Dawud. He practiced sole leadership and made all major business decisions by himself, including land deals and joint ventures. Even though there was a family agreement in 1981 to distribute shares, it was never implemented, so control stayed with him until his death in 1989. There was also no involvement of his children or other family members in management or as directors, so decision-making was centralized and the company depended entirely on one leader. Pasla Holding lacked proper estate planning arrangement, which there are no formal will or testamentary for his asset. First, there was no legally executed succession plan for ownership or control of the company. Second, there was also no clear management or director's succession plan after Dawud's death. Third, there was no legal protection for minority or intended heirs, which caused conflict and court cases. Next, no formal trust was created over the company shares to protect the beneficiaries. And most importantly, even though share transfers were agreed, they were never executed.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Amirul Hakim bin Muhammad Asri. So basically, the 1981 agreement failed as a family trust because it didn't actually show any real intention to create one. The document didn't even specify what assets were supposed to be in the trust or who the beneficiaries were. There were no trustees appointed and no structure how the trust should work. On top of that, the family never behaved like a trust existed. No meetings, no accounts, and nothing. And legally, the agreement didn't follow the proper formalities. Because of all this, the court said it couldn't be considered a valid trust. Because there was no proper estate plan, the transfer of business ownership in Pasla became really messy. First, the family started arguing over who actually owned the company shares, since nothing was clearly documented. Everyone had their own version of the truth. Then there was the 1991 agreement, which was already vague. Instead of helping, it made things worse because each person interpreted it differently. This created even more conflict. There was also no named successor, so no one knew who had the authority to make business decisions. This uncertainty slowed down management and affected day-to-day operations. The situation caused a big breakdown in family relationship. Arguments, mistrust, and emotional tension keep increasing because no one felt the process was fair or clear. On top of that, the family had to go through long court processes just to sort out ownership, which led to the high legal costs and major delays. And overall, without a clear leader, the company lost direction. Important decisions were postponed and the business couldn't move forward smoothly. That's why the absence of the proper estate plan had such a deep impact on ownership and control.
FIN669, and I will present about problem due to unclear ownership and succession plan. The first problem is power struggle for leadership position, as each group believes they deserve greater control over the company. The second problem is conflict between different family branches, as no clear successor was named to lead the company. For the third problem is threat of legal action that damaged the family relationship and made cooperation become difficult. And the last problem is breakdown of trust among family members, as family members considered taking legal steps to protect their conflict to the company. The first effect is it slowed the strategic decision making and contribute to operational delays. For the second effect is the confusion of management authority among employee that makes employee become uncertain about reporting lines and their priorities. For the third effect is reduced employee moral and retention issues. And for the fourth effect is loss of external confidence and funding of opportunity, as business partner may view persistent family conflict as sign of government risk that weaken the firm's ability to secure financing and partnership.
My name is Nurhuda binti Hamizan. Next, I will continue on the lesson and recommendation for the Pasla holding cases. The first lesson are that informal family agreements are legally weak and unenforceable unless properly executed. Therefore, it is recommended that a formal and written succession plan should be implemented to clearly identify future leaders and decision makers. Second, excessive founder-centric control creates a long-term risk. To address this, founders should gradually delegate authority through a structured management framework to ensure business's continuity. The third lesson is that the lack of separation between ownership and management often leads to a conflict. Thus, engaging in professional legal and corporate advisor can help establish clear rules and compliant governance structures. Fourth, succession plans fail when the implementation is delayed. Hence, the recommendation is that for Pasla to have a succession arrangement such as share transfers and director appointments must be executed during the founder's lifetime. Finally, courts prioritize legal certainty over family intention. And so, adopting a best corporate governance practices including formal boards and clear reporting lines can reduce the dispute and strengthen transparency. In summary, the Pasla Holding Sdn Bhd case shows an excessive founder-centric control and poor estate planning can seriously disestablish a family business. Dato' A.S. Daud sole control over management without structured delegation or a legally binding succession plan left the company vulnerable after his death. The absence of proper legal and corporate advice resulted in informal arrangement that trigger dispute over ownership and leadership. This conflict damaged family relationship, disrupted daily operation, weakened governance and threatened long-term sustainability. Overall, the case highlights the importance of proper estate planning, professional guidance, and sound corporate governance to ensure smooth leadership transition and preserve both business continuity and family harmony. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.